Hi guys, it's Cindy, aka Disney Queen. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that I love about Hollywood Studios, so stay tuned. Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that I love about Hollywood Studios. And I will admit, Hollywood Studios is one of the few parks that I have a hard time really coming up with things for, but I have thought of 5 things that I really like about Hollywood Studios, so I thought I would share them with you. The first thing I would say that I really like about Hollywood Studios, again for me, the park icons is what really draws me into the park when I first get there, and I love the look of the Chinese Man Theater. I love that it looks like the theater that's in California. I love that they even have footprints and handprints and signatures of different people, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse included. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the new ride is going to be like in the Chinese Man Theater. But when I first walk into Hollywood Studios, again, like when I walk onto Magic Kingdom or when I walk into Epcot, I love being able to see the Chinese Man Theater at the end of that road. Kind of like when you follow the Yellow Brick Road and it carries you to the Emerald City. That's what I think of when I walk into most of Disney parks, is being able to see that iconic emblem, building, whatever signature piece that represents the park. And to me, the Chinese Man Theater will always represent the park to me, long before they put the Sorcerer of Mickey's hat up. The second thing that I would say that I really like about Hollywood Studios is I love the Beauty and the Beast show. Now, Beauty and the Beast is not my favorite movie from Disney, but I love going to see the open theater version of Beauty and the Beast, because I love the songs in it, and I really love that it's open, as if you were at a theater in a park, like a regular park somewhere, and that the music is like on time, the storyline is quick, and it gets right to the point, and it carries you through the movie as if you were watching it in a theater somewhere, which is basically what you're doing. So I would say, if you do get a chance to go and see it at least one time. I know everyone loves Fantasmic. Fantasmic is probably not my favorite, only because we had a really bad experience when we went to see Fantasmic for the first time. I don't know if things have changed since then, but I just remember for us, the rush, the line, and then the rush of getting in and the rush of coming out. And we just felt like we were being, not that anyone actually stampeded us, but I've always felt like that's something that they could work on, as to how they get people in and how they get people out. And someone will have to tell me if that has changed, because for us, it just was not the best experience. So I have actually not been back to see Fantasmic for many, many years. But I really love going to see Beauty and the Beast. Number 3 for me would be Toy Story Mania. And I'm really surprised because I'm not usually a game person, but the first time that we went on Toy Story Mania, which was 2 years ago, I really, really enjoyed it. I love the way it looks when you walk through the line. I know it's changed a bit since they've done the new version of it, but it still makes you feel as if you walked into one of Woody's storylines. And I loved the big cards, like the Uno cards. I loved all the Tinker toys that were there and all of the signage. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it now with some of the new version items that have been added to it. But for me, the fun part was getting on the ride itself and actually playing the game, and the video screens, how it looks like you're playing like at a arcade game, but you're actually within the arcade game. At least that's what it feels like to me. And I just thought that that was neat. And so I would suggest to anybody, if you can get a fast pass for it, good. If you can't get a fast pass for it, as long as the line is not too long, it is definitely worth you going to see. Just be warned that your arm will hurt after you finish playing the game, but it is really a fun game, and it's good for all ages. And the way the cars swing around, you'll just enjoy being on this game. It is just really fun to do. So that would be number 3. For me, number 4 would be And I know it's controversial. I love Muppet Vision 3D. And I've said this before in a previous video when I talked about my priorities for Hollywood Studios, and I will link that below. I love Muppet 3D. I grew up on Muppet 3D. I grew up looking at Kermit and Miss Piggy. And yes, I hope that at some point that they will try to update the ride a little bit and do something a little different with it. But the concept of it, I really, really still like. And I think it's funny. I think that even though the storyline is old, that it's still fun to watch. It's not for everyone. And that's the one thing that I would say about going to any of the parks is that you have to find what works for you. What things that you find appealing, what things give you good memories, what things make you happy. That is what going to Walt Disney World is all about. There's something for everyone. So if it's not your favorite thing to do, there's plenty of other things for you to do. But for me, I really like Muppet Vision 3D, and I like going to see it. And we try to go see it on each trip just because of that. It just brings back such good memories of watching Sesame Street and when the Muppet movies first started coming out, and seeing Kermit and Miss Piggy and Gonzo, and even the two, grouchy old men who sit up in the at top of the theater and talk about everybody. That's childhood memories for me, and that's why I love it. It's nostalgic, so that's a big part of why I love it. Number 5 for me would actually be just being at Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, the first time that we went, held a lot of memories. There were a lot of different things that were at Hollywood Studios then that are not there now. I think one of the few that's still around is Little Mermaid. A bonus for me would be Frozen Ever After. I was really surprised at how much I loved it, and I would go and see it again. It just surprised me. I love the sing along, and but for me, Hollywood Studios has that kind of nostalgic old Hollywood type of feeling still, even though they've removed a lot of that. When I walk through the park, that is what I get from it. I love going down the different streets that have the Hollywood names to them. I like that you see the Streetmosphere performers, and they have on the old Hollywood studio type of costumes. It has that old Hollywood vibe to it. It had kind of Art Deco look. I love that you hear the music that's playing. This is gonna sound really funny. There is like a old-fashioned car that's right there at the front of the entrance near the restrooms when you first go in. I always take a picture of that car because to me it looks like an old-fashioned gas station. I could see, going to Hollywood Studios for Dapper Dan's Day because you could dress in, the old-fashioned costumes. I've never eaten at Mama Melrose's place, and I've thought about eating there. Even the themes of the restaurants give you that kind of old-fashioned Hollywood theme. I love getting on the boat from Epcot and riding the boat over to Hollywood Studios. That's like a must for us. I think we rarely take the bus to Hollywood Studios. When we've gone, even when we drive, we will drive and park at Epcot and stay in Epcot for a little while, and then we'll go over to Hollywood Studios on the boat. So that is like a long time memory for me to stop in between. I like that the two parks are so near each other that you can stop in between at the boardwalk and walk around for a little bit, but then you can get on the boat and go over and walk into Hollywood Studios. I love the iconic sign of Hollywood Studios when you first go in and you see, I guess it's like a ticket booth, and it looks to me, and that's probably what it was meant to do, it looks to me like an old-fashioned ticket booth. That is really neat to me. I like 1950s type of style with the hoop skirts and the circle skirts with the poodle on it and the saddleback shoes. It reminds me of my time in theater when I was in high school, and we would do different type of plays, and sometimes we would need that type of costume. And that's what Hollywood Studios does for me, which is why I kind of wish that they emphasize that more than some of the newer movies that they're starting to emphasize now. Don't get me wrong, I understand why people like Star Wars. For one, Star Wars is not just for men, it's for women as well. But it's definitely something that men needed, boys needed to have that type of park. Even though I know girls like it too. I'm not trying to start anything here with that. But for me, Hollywood Studios, when I think of Hollywood Studios, I think of old-fashioned movies, like the movies that was in the Great Movie Ride, the old black and white films. I love seeing the iconic, it might even be Walt, with the old-fashioned camera, the statue that's at Hollywood Studios. I love seeing the little arch area that used to say MGM. That when I see that, when I get to Hollywood Studios, I get excited about seeing that. I remember the old Sight and Sound part of Hollywood Studios. There used to be a attraction. I love that you can go and see Indiana Stunt Spectacular. That is a really good thing to go watch as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Hollywood Studio changes in the next couple of years. But for me, the fun part is the nostalgic part of it, the movie happenings, the way the park looks, the street atmosphere, the shows. That is what draws me to Hollywood Studios. I hope that you've liked this video. I hope that you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? And until I see you the next time, I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye.